All right, guys, it's about 7 a.m. in the morning. Still haven't fully gotten awake yet. But anyway, today is Saturday, December 18th, 2021. Today marks day 4 of my new 30-day thrash on my wife's 55 4-door. Today is more door goodness. I'm going to wait until the sun comes out pretty good and, cooks off a lot of the moisture before I push my hard top out. But I may end up having to fire the heater up. It's really cold today. But anyway, first thing I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to use my slapper here, and I'm going to open the door so that comes out. But I've got a Sharpie line right here. I'm going to hammer this skin in a little bit to match because it's casting a shadow right through here. Anyway, I'm going to get that worked into where it all matches because it's all really, really nice up until here. Now, usually when you fold a skin edge in a little bit, you're going to have a high spot right there above it. So what I usually do is just flat hammer, and I'll sit there and work that in and work it and work it and work it and work it. And sometimes I have to use that little pick in, just kind of a little pick at it a little bit. I don't hammer the hell out of it. I just kind of pick at it a little bit. A little bit will do a lot, especially the more of it you do. But anyway, so I need to do that. The next thing I'm going to do is drill the hinges for pins. I've talked about this many times through this, but anyway, I'm going to show you here. I don't know that I've showed this. I have a drill bit here. This is a 1/4 inch drill bit. It's a really long one I got at Lowe's. The top door hinge is pretty far in, but this one, that long drill bit will reach in there. Now, I'll use a short one down here, and it's about where I'll drill is right in between the bolts there, like that. But anyway, the reason I'm going to use a short one here and for the long one up there, I'm trying to make this last as long as I can. If I went through and drilled top and bottom, drill bits don't last forever. They'd end up dulling out. So I do have a pretty new 1/4 inch short one. So I'm going to use that there. And then I have 1/4 inch steel rod here that I've sharpened to a point a little bit. So the beauty of this is if you drill and pin your doors after paint, you don't chip your paint up on your door hinges and stuff trying to get the door adjusted after everything's painted. You can have somebody help you get the door on there, slide that pin in all the way through, put your bolts in, tighten it down, and it's going to be where it needs to be. So it's just a really nice thing to do. So anyway, that is the first project for the morning is that, which is only going to take probably, 15 minutes or so. Then I'm going to move on to stripping out the rear door and get it ready to be hung on the car. I've got this door laying down here, and I've looked it over here. I kind of wiped on it a little bit. I'm not going to have to do any rust repair on the bottom of this door. This is pretty nice, but it does have rust on the outside skin down low down here in the corner, just like the other door had. So I'll definitely have to patch that. But I'm going to run you guys through something here, just in case you haven't got to this part on your car yet and you've not done it before. If you'll notice, you've got drain holes here. I have seen a door a long time ago I got a door home, and somebody had seam sealed those up so it couldn't drain. Those are your drains for your water or, debris or whatever to come out. Somebody had seam sealed that all up, and it rotted the crap out of that bottom of that door. So it actually lifted the folded part of the skin right here, the fold. It had lifted up from water getting down in there and expanding, during the rusting process and probably freezing. But anyway, I ended up having to put a door bottom and a skin piece in the bottom of it. But anyway, if you'll notice these little round holes here, this is for your weather stripping. And I know this sounds kind of basic to some of you guys, but I'm going to run you through something here that you may not know. So weather stripping, this is the original from 1955. It had metal wire in it with this little bend in it to go in there and hook in. So I'll use a little clip tool, and get down in there and pop that out. Now, when you buy new weather stripping right here, this is how it comes. It'll have white plastic Christmas tree style push-in clips. So what you will do is you will find the end of it, and this weather stripping goes one direction. You'll have to look at the way the bend is on it and put it on here. So before you rip your old weather stripping off, take a picture of it for reference, how it's on that door, so you can match it up this way, because you can put the weather stripping on backwards. But anyway, see how this is cut off right there? It's like, I don't know, 1.5 inches to the end of that. These two holes here that are close together, you'll want to get you a distance there between and slice that off. And then that's where you will start, is in one of them right there. And you'll go all the way around the door until you get to this side, this other one right here. Now these are cut to fit because these are for 2-door and 4-door. 2-door doors are bigger for a sedan. So these are, you're gonna have to trim down, and you even have to trim down the 2-door ones as well. But anyway, when you get down here to cut this, cut that quite a bit longer. I would say probably 3/16 longer, because that door rubber is so soft and squishy, you can kind of force it down in there against itself and it'll tension set together. The very first one I did, I put up there and I was like, oh, that's where it needs to be cut, and I cut it, and then it ended up shrinking after about a year. It kind of shrunk a little bit. You know, the rubber takes a seat to the body over time, and I ended up having a gap between that. So anyway, I had tried weather strip adhesive and all that kind of crap, but it just drove me insane. So when you do that, cut that long and force squish them together, and it kind of tension holds them together. But do put a little bit of weather strip adhesive between them on your final. Now, if you're going to primer your car like I am, and you're going to plan on painting it later, I am not going to weather strip adhesive the door rubber on the car. I will just snap it in there and call it a day. Now, when I go to strip the car apart for paint later, I will use my clip tool. I've got another one that's got a smaller opening. I will use that and carefully remove that weather stripping after I get the door back off the car. And that way it saves the weather stripping and I can reinstall it later. So anyway, thought you guys might want to know that. I am going to get started, so man, long list to do today. All right, let's do some slapping here. That's one thing about the old steel on these cars. You got to put some effort in it. Just about. All right. Just a little bit in one spot. sealer on the bottom of that door too. Okay. All right, one thing done. Now I get to drill the hinges. Oh, I think my drill bit's already dull. I may have to go get a new one. Golly, that's terrible. I mean, those hinges are pretty deep, but I'm like sitting here working like that. Go, golly. One more to go. Dull too. You guys get the idea. Moment of truth. I just dead centered it in the hinge pocket. Get a base. Oh boy. Hitting the drip rail at the top. All right. Well, that's terrible, man. Oh. This will turn into a half hour loosening and tightening and adjusting, so I'll break it off for now. All right, guys, this is going to be another little video clip here that's completely unrelated to the door adjustments. Kind of like last night when I showed the gauge face covers. A little tidbit here. Now, one of the things that I need to do, that I plan on doing in the next week or two, I need to get the front seat assembled because I have the back unbolted from the bottom. Anyway, I need to get those bolted back together, and I need to get the seat bolted in here because I've got to find that perfect spot to mount the 3-point seat belt anchors and weld them in up here in the B-pillar. So I'm going to have my wife actually sitting in the car, and I'm going to put the seat belt across her where it's not on her neck, you know, so I get the right height on this. Now, since I'm going to be messing with the front seat, I wanted to go ahead and order a couple of things, actually one thing, and then I found these others by accident, but there's something I'm going to do to the car that is kind of be a little helpful since I'm messing with the front seat. Now, these cars, the only dome light you got was that one. So, you know, it really doesn't put off a whole bunch of light. That's what my wife complains about in her car that she drives every day, is the dome light's not very good in it. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to put some lights in this car and wire them into the door jamb switches. So pretty much when she opens the door, it's going to look like a city lit up in here. But I think she'll enjoy it. Now, in case somebody else wants to do this, I'll run you through everything that I'm doing here. Now, I think what these cars really need from the get-go is floor lighting, so you can light up the floor. In her case, you know, she throws her purse in the floorboard on the passenger side, and you know, she has to be able to see it to grab it instead of feeling for it. But that didn't sound right. Anyway, so I have these brand new kick panels here. These are aftermarket ones. But anyway, they go up in here, and there's a screen that screws on that. But anyway, there's a whole area right here at the top edge that when the kick panel's not on there, this is open. There's the door jamb switch. So I've got these lights right here. I got these off of eBay, and I want to say they were $8 with free shipping. And they're chrome, they're a plastic cover, but they're chrome plated because, you know, a 50s car has chrome. It's pretty basic, it's power and ground, and it is LED. There's a little LED strip in there. But the cool part is they have a shield over the top of them. So these are only going to, when you bolt them on, they're only going to cast light down. So I have installed a bunch of these, not LED, but I used to work at Bayliner Boats in Miami, Oklahoma back in the early 90s when I first got married. And I assembled the decks of quite a few different styles of Bayliner boats. You know, these mounted on the inside the boat, the interior of it, and it was basically to light up the steps to walk down into the cabin. But anyway, they look pretty much about the same, except these are LEDs, and back then they weren't LED, but they just took a bulb. But anyway, my idea is I'm going to drill the 2 holes for mounting screws and then drill a hole in the center to run the wires through. But I'm basically going to mount them on that kick panel right about like that. So they'll be up here a little bit under the dash, and I'm going to wire them to the dome light switch. So when the door opens, those come on and shine light down here in the floor for her. Now the other thing, I've thought about this, I just never have done it. And I kind of want to do it to my hardtop as well, but I'm going to use this car as the guinea pig. These were also on eBay. These were $10 with free shipping for all 4. These are really thin line LED, and this is a peel and stick tape on here. So, you know, power and ground, same thing. On these seat bottoms on these 55s, they have the bottom of the seat frame is completely flat, so it's flat pretty much all the way across back here, and the rear has a flat strip that goes all the way across. So I'm going to mount these at the very front of the bottom of the flat part of the seat, and just stick them on and run the wires, you know, under the carpet and up here, and hook them in as well. So these will provide a little bit more light down in the floor as well. So I think it's pretty much going to light the whole cabin up in here like a city at night. But anyway, you know, basically a little bit less than $20. So basically $20 for this for the lights here, and I think it's a pretty good idea. Now, I may not use these on the front. What I'm kind of thinking of now, since they're here and I have 4 of them, I may put 2 of these in the back underneath on the seat. That way these will kind of illuminate the back floorboard for the passengers, because I think these will probably be enough for the front. So I may use the other 2 on my hardtop under the front to light up my floors, because I only got a pair of these. My hardtop, I did a lot of smoothing and detailing on it, and these, I mean, in the reality, they are a little bit bulky for that style of build. But for this being a driver and something that I'm trying to cater stuff for to my wife, you know, I think they're perfect for it. So anyway, I just thought I'd give that tidbit in case any of you guys wanted to get on eBay. Basically, I went to eBay, and in the search box, I put in interior lights, boat, or marine. I don't remember, but there's a lot of marine stuff that you can kind of carry over on your car if you wanted to. Anyway, me working at Bayliner, I installed lights, and I installed everything, steering wheels and steering cables back to the back and all kinds of stuff, speakers. So anyway, guys, just thought you might want to know. All right, guys, so I worked for a long time trying to get this door to get adjusted on the car. This door from the get-go, I knew as soon as I brought the car home from when I bought it and it was together, I knew there was something wrong with this door because it did not open good. It just seems like it's in a bind. So anyway, after messing with this thing for a couple hours, I even ground off 1/8 of an inch and then filed it flat on the door hinge because it's so thick. The problem I'm having is the front bottom of the door, there's too wide of a gap. So that door needs to go forward. What I finally figured out was, because after I ground the hinge and put it back on, it didn't fix it. What I figured out is this door opens really wide, like almost straight out. That one over there doesn't do that. And that one is not near as bound up as this one is when you try to open it. So what I think has happened in this car's past is there's been some kind of damage done to this door. I don't know if the door was open and somebody run into it. I don't know if Chris Farley was trying to back it up at the gas pump with the door open, like Tommy Boy. I mean, I don't know, but that hinge, there is something wrong with it. I tried shimming the rear part of the door, and I tried the front. I mean, I tried all kinds of different stuff. I tried one shim in the third hole on the part that goes to the door, trying to get the hinge to be cocked to get it to work. It didn't work. It's like it's not responding to anything. But at the end of it, the door is open and almost straight, so it's definitely been overextended. And that's probably why the door just doesn't fit the car very well. So anyway, I contacted a friend of mine, Scott. I had gave him several years ago a whole bunch of Tri-5 parts I had in my backyard. He brought a truck and a trailer. The bed of his truck was full and his car trailer was completely full. And then he come back, I think, again the next day, if I remember right, and got some more stuff from me. I got in the mood one day to clean up my yard and clean out my shed, and he had got a 55 four-door Bel Air. Somebody had used it for a parts car for a two-door, and so it was missing quite a few pieces, and I had tons of extra stuff, so I just gave it to him. And he had told me that anytime I ever needed one of those parts back, just let him know. So I called him, asked him if I could have a door hinge, and of course he said yes. So he is going to bring that. He's going to bring a whole door to me Monday when he gets off work, Monday evening. So I'll take the hinge off of it and try it. I'm betting that that's going to fix my problem, because it's kind of weird that door opens almost straight. So anyway, I definitely know something's up with this door, especially compared to the other one. But this is not my first four-door. Now, I do want to say, I've mentioned it in several of the videos so far, and I need to mention it again. I guess I need to mention it in every one of them. Gapping your doors on your car with it not bolted down to the chassis with new body mounts is not a good idea. And as I stated in a couple of my videos, I am taking a chance doing that to this car. The reason that I feel comfortable about it is I'm really being lazy is what it is. I am trying to skip a step of bolting the car back on the chassis with new body mounts, then doing all the gapping of the doors, and then pulling the body back off again. I want to paint the car without the chassis under it so I don't get overspray on my restored chassis. I don't want to spend all the money and the time masking off everything. So I feel more comfortable about the door alignment on the car because I've got kind of the same issues that I had before when the car was together. But also these four doors have 4 posts per side. They have an A, B, C, and D pillar. So, you know, this car is going to be pretty stable. I'm not saying it's... Basically, I'm taking a chance. But I feel confident the car is going to be pretty stable. Now, the body cart that I have it on is a chassis from a 56 Chevy. So the body's cradled to the floor pretty good. But again, this could backfire on me, but I'm having pretty much the same issues that I had before. Now, I would never do that to a convertible or a hardtop. I just would not do it. There is not enough support in that body to trust that. So when I gapped this car, I actually did show car gaps on this car, and it took a long time. But I had the body bolted down to the chassis with the new body mounts, urethane body mounts. I had the motor and trans in it, and I had a lot of stuff on it for weight. I even had weightlifting weights in the trunk floor to mimic a full tank of gas and the battery and all that stuff. But anyway, I will say urethane body mounts are my preferred. The reason is, back in the 90s, I did a 55. I bought just stock replacement rubber bushings. I bolted the car down to the chassis, and then I don't remember why I pulled it back off the chassis. I think I painted the chassis gloss black, and then I ended up not, because the car was gloss black and red two-tone, and I ended up not liking it, so I took the body back off because it wasn't completely together yet. I ended up taking the body back off the frame, and I painted it a satin black. So when I removed the body from the chassis, which had been on there for a little bit of time, the body mounts stayed squished. Like, I remember them being not flat. They were like one corner down really far. So it was like they were crooked. So ever since then, I've used urethane body mounts. Now, I remember back then, some guy told me that you don't ever want to use urethane body mounts because they squeak. And I've got to tell you, I've installed probably 15 to 20 sets of urethane body mounts on cars, not just Tri-5s. I have never had a body squeak on the frame. So I don't know if that is a wives' tale. I don't know. Maybe it does happen, but it hasn't happened to me. What I think somebody probably done is they probably used a hardware store bolt that had a long shoulder without threads, and when they tightened the body down to the chassis, maybe they run out of threads and it didn't quite tighten it up and allowed it to squeak a little bit. I don't know. I'm just telling you, I have always used urethane since, and I have never had an issue. And when I took this body back off the frame, after doing all the fit and everything, the body mounts are still the same shape they were as when I put them on. So anyway, if you're going to do body mounts on your car, I would highly, if you're going to gap it, I would highly recommend urethane body mounts, because there's another reason for it. These cars are very flexible. These chassis, the original chassis, flex quite a bit. If you've ever jacked up one of these cars in your driveway, you'll notice that the door doesn't want to open or close very well. So rubber body mounts kind of add to that. They let it flex quite a bit more. Urethane kind of helps it keep it stable. The door's still going to not open and close correctly, but it's not going to be as squishy as it would with rubber. Now again, this is just my opinion from personal experience. So you can do what you want to your own car, but if you're asking me, I'm telling you. So anyway, guys, I am done. I'm not getting that door hinge until Monday night. Now I do have other stuff to do. I can finish working on my dash, my fold down hidden radio plate. You know, I have a list of stuff that I can do, so I don't need to worry about doing that door right now. I have plenty to do, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I can do some grinding on the welds. I can do some more body work. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff I can do, so I'm just going to carry on from that. But anyway, Scott, if you're watching this video, I appreciate you bringing me a door for the door hinge. That is pretty awesome. But anyway, guys, I'm going to cut the video off, and that is the end of day 4 for Saturday, December 18th. Thanks for watching.